Good day. I was always wondering why some marriages, after a fight, they love each other even more. And in another marriage, the same fight, over the same subject, they're ready to call the lawyers and go for a divorce. Why? What is the difference? I was always wondering, why is Switzerland and Yugoslavia, what used to be called Yugoslavia? Why is the Balkan such a mess and Switzerland is not, although it has the ingredients to be a mess? Can you imagine a worse situation than Italians, French, and Germans together? I mean, they have been at each other's throat every world war. Why would they now live so peacefully together? Why did Yugoslavia fall apart and Switzerland is not? What makes the difference? And I came to some very interesting conclusions which I would like to share with you because it has implications for how we manage organizations and how do we even handle ourselves, managing ourselves as well, or our family. It's kind of a unifying principles of what makes for success. I found out that success of any system, whether we are talking a certain person or a family or a business or society, thus it's a unifying principle here. Success in any way that you measure success, whether it is to make $1 billion and to be a billionaire, or whether it is to lie on the beach and collect lint in your belly button, in other words, just to be free. Whichever way you define success, it's a function of, which means it depends on one factor. And please realize, I'm not saying that's the only factor. This is a tip of the iceberg. This one factor is impacted by 4 factors. These 4 factors are impacted by 32 factors. There is a whole pyramid here of interdependent, interrelated factors, and I devoted my professional life now, 30-some years, to learn this map, to see what causes what, so we can predict success of any system. So what is this above the water factor? This is the live or die factor that determines success or failure of any system. It is a ratio between external marketing, and I'm putting the word marketing in quotation marks, and internal marketing, which I'm also putting in quotation marks. And I'm putting in quotation marks because the word marketing has a business concept, and you have to translate it, you have to interpret it. What does it mean for a human being, for a family, for a country? So the word marketing should be understood in its widest connotation, and I will explain it in a second what it means. Let's focus on business because it's clearer now to see it, and then we see how it applies to other systems, micro and macro systems. What's external marketing? If you take all the books written about marketing and you summarize them, and then you summarize their summary, and then you summarize the summary of the summary of the summary of the summary, until you get to the kernel of knowledge, what is marketing all about, you're going to find out that really what marketing is all about is how to match opportunities in a changing environment to capabilities. In other words, what is happening out there, what is needed out there, what are the opportunities out there, what are the unfulfilled needs out there, and what are we capable of doing about it. So you know what marketing is? All the energy that an organization spends in identifying the opportunities and capitalizing on its capabilities to satisfy those opportunities. That's why we have product differentiation and market segmentation and pricing policies and how do we promote it and so which channels. It's basically how to satisfy opportunities with our capabilities profitably. You might even call it, instead of external marketing, you might call it external integration. How do you integrate yourself with the market in which you're operating, in the environment in you're operating? And that one marketing now, when you interpret it for a human being, it's called career planning. What am I capable of? What are the opportunities in the marketplace? And how do I place my capabilities in the marketplace? So external marketing is personal career planning. For a country, it's called industrial policy of a country. What's the industrial policy of a country? What are the global economy needs? And how do we put to use our internal resources of the country in the most effective way and place ourselves in the global markets profitably? Well, that's the same thing. It's external marketing. What is internal marketing? Internal marketing is, jokingly I call it, all the blood, sweat, and tears, all the energy that you have to spend inside the system in order to make it do something. In a company, it's called politics, selling, explaining, because as an executive, you constantly have to sell your ideas, you have to motivate people, you have to convince people, you have to direct people, you have to make it happen. In a human being, it's a chatter in your mind, the discussion you have in your own head. You know, what should I do, what I should not do? Am I doing the right thing, am I not doing the right thing? That's all the internal selling, internal marketing. And internal marketing, what is it? It's a function of mutual trust and respect. Let me explain that. Why does this formula predict success? Because we know from physics that any point in time, energy is fixed. At any point in time, energy is fixed. There is no perpetuum mobile, which means endless motion, endless energy. No, there is a fixed energy. Even a human being, the most productive, the hardest work individual has fixed energy. Why? Because there are only 24 hours in a day. Somebody can do more in 24 hours than somebody else, but nevertheless, there is a common denominator. There are only 24 hours a day. You cannot say to somebody, what, you cannot do the job? Get 1 hour earlier. There is no 1 hour earlier. There are only 24 hours a day. There is a fixed amount of energy. Now, what I discovered is that this fixed energy gets allocated predictably. You can predict how it's going to be allocated. First, the energy goes to fulfill the internal marketing needs. And only the surplus that's left goes to external marketing. Let me give you an example. God forbid somebody you know was in a car accident and is in a hospital. It was a very bad accident. You go to visit them and the doctor tells you, please, no more than 5 minutes. Why only 5 minutes? Why only 5 minutes? Because the poor person there has only so much energy to give to you. He needs all the energy to take care of himself. That's why. By the way, here's another example. You have a terrible cold. You are sick to the core. Somebody comes to you and says, we have to make a major decision about certain markets or something to do. And what are you going to say? Not now, please. Not now. Come next week. Right now, I have no strength. I am sick to the core. I need all the energy I have to take care of my body. Let's take some examples and see how this formula works. Ready? If there is no trust and respect, what happens? There is a lot of internal marketing. Now we have to work together. We have to decide something. We need to support a decision. We need to implement the decision. If there is no respect, what happens? I don't want to hear from you. I don't know what you're saying. I'm not interested. I don't want your input. And what's happening? We're going in different directions. I might even make a mistake because I didn't listen to maybe what people are trying to save me. There is no trust. What that happens now? Now we kind of ride hard at each other to be sure that they do exactly what we told them to do. Why? Because you don't trust them to do it. All the energy is wasted where? Internally. There is no trust, there is no respect. You cannot turn your back. As a matter of fact, you could tell whether there is respect and trust in a company by body language. You know that? I'll give you an example. If there is respect and trust, what happens? When we make a decision, since there is respect, we look at each other. We all congregate and we look at each other in order to learn from each other. When the time comes to implement, since there is trust, we can turn back to each other and we go and do it. So when we make a decision, we get together. When we have to implement the decision, we turn the back to each other and go and do our job. There is trust, respect, and trust. When there is no respect and trust, the opposite occurs. Since there is no respect, I don't want to talk to you. I turn my back to you. And since there is no trust, when time comes to implement, I turn and I'm looking at you. Tell me where your back is, tell me where your face is when you're making a decision and implementing a decision, and I will tell you how well the company is managed. The more noise in the system, the more politics, the less energy available to deal with external marketing. If there is no mutual trust and respect, then external marketing is high. If external marketing is high, the total result is low. Success is low. Now let's use some analogies because I think we should not do it mathematically. We should look at it from examples in life. Let's take a human being first. Let's start with the human being. Let's assume we have a human being that his parents inherited him, gave him an inheritance of $100 million cash in the bank. Let's assume that this person even went to Harvard Business School and got a degree, MBA, Master in Business Administration from Harvard. So he really got a good education. He knows about business, good education, and also has $100 million cash in the bank. And furthermore, he's very good looking. So he has the looks, the money, and the education. Will this person be successful? It depends. What if I tell you that this person has no self-respect and no self-trust? He doesn't know what to do. By the way, you can be a very good student without self-respect and trust. All you need is to sit on the chair and study and learn it by heart and answer the questions. It has nothing to do with self-respect and trust. So here is a person has no self-respect and no self-trust. What does it mean? I don't know what to do, I don't know what to decide, I don't know what people are telling me, I'm not so sure I agree with myself, much less with others, I don't trust myself, I'm scared what to do. What happened with all that education? What happens with all that good looks? What happened with all this $100 million in the bank? It's like a Rolls Royce, you don't have the key to turn it on, you just look at it and say, what a waste. What a waste. What a waste with this person. All that money, all that education, all the good looks, no use. Why? Because all his energy is being wasted between his ears. His eyes are turned inwards. What should I do? What am I doing? Am I doing the right thing? He doesn't even know he's good looking. He doesn't even pay attention, notice that somebody is making a pass at him. The opportunities are passing by him. He can spend $100 million, make $1 billion. He doesn't even see them. Why? All his energy is turned inwards. When is this person going to start functioning? He has to go to psychotherapy. And psychotherapy, by the way, starts with trust. Starts with trust. Trusting your psychotherapist and then eventually trusting yourself. Then respecting yourself, what does it mean? Respecting your own disagreements. So I cannot make up my mind. So there is a liberal party in my head who says, go do it. And there is a conservative party in my head who says, are you crazy, what are you doing? And I respect both voices. I respect my own dissension. I listen to my own voices. That's okay. I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to be right all the time. I listen. I respect to the voices, and then even respect the voices of dissension of other people until I make a decision. That's part of the therapy that this person has to go through. And then, as he develops respect and trust in himself, what happens? The eyes turn outwards. The energy that was wasted all here gets freed. And now all at once he can see opportunities, many opportunities, to find a spouse, to find a business, to do things. Now he can use $100 million. Now he can use his good looks. Now he can use his education. So when companies come to Adizes and say, Dr. Adizes, or Adizes associate, we have a problem here, we are losing market share, what should we do, what should be our strategy? I don't look at the external marketing as yet. What do you have to do first? Fix the inside. Fix the inside. I tell them we'll deal with the market later, because strength, success is not from the outside in, it's from the inside out. Outside in is a 19th century thinking. That's when country thought, if I have more land and more colonies, the stronger I am. It is a 19th century thinking. 20th century, 21st century thinking is, the stronger I am inside, the better I am. Small and strong rather than big and weak. It's not size, it's quality. It's not more, it's better. Like, look at the family. We go to the next level. Let's assume we have a person that what the yogis call is centered. What does it mean? I know who I am, I know who I am not. And I'm at peace with myself. Do you hear the word at peace? I'm at peace. Being at peace makes you so strong. When you don't have a revolution in your head, you don't have a clogged mind, they're fighting, you can. I'm at peace. I am at peace. Now all the energy is available to handle the world. But God forbid, I have a disastrous marriage, no trust and no respect. One fight over breakfast and you're shot at least until noontime. You cannot work. A fight with your spouse, with your children, with your brother, with your parents, and what happens? You just can't work. As a matter of fact, people that go through a divorce, rule of thumb, they're useless for about 2 years. Why? Because their mind is somewhere else. I should have, I didn't, but if I did it, it would have been, but on the other hand, she did it this way. Your head is somewhere else, you can't work. The energy is going somewhere else. It's like being sick. Here is a recommendation. Next time you're trying to hire somebody important for your company, don't interview only that person. Ask them to come with their spouse to dinner. Check the relationship. If they don't have a supportive spouse, they have a spouse that robs them of energy, what does it mean? They don't have enough energy to give to your company. They bring the problems of the house into the company, and thus their capability to work in the company is much more limited. What's the next stage? Let's go to the next level. Let's assume we have a person that is at peace. I know who I am, I know who I am not, I'm at peace with myself, all my energy is available to devote. And I have a supportive family. I don't have any energy being wasted in that direction. They are behind me and supporting me totally. Now I come to work, and what's happening? Marketing against sales, sales against production, production against accounting, accounting against everybody. And when a client comes, a customer comes, what do we say? Come tomorrow. I'm exhausted today. I'm exhausted today with all the meetings and all the rumors and all the politics and all the interpretations of what's going on. I don't have the energy. If you want to serve the client better, first of all, you have to have a healthy inside. A healthy spirit in a healthy body. That's what the old Greeks used to say for the Olympic Games, right? You need to be healthy. When you're healthy, all the energy is available. If you're in pain in your head, in your body somewhere, you just can't work, can you? Let's go at the country level. I was talking before about what's the difference between Yugoslavia and Switzerland. Well, look at Switzerland. How much internal marketing do they have? Very little. They have a lot of internal mutual trust and respect, don't they? When a Swiss from a German canton goes to visit a French canton, what do they speak? French. And the reverse is true. They respect each other's differences. By the way, what is Switzerland strong in? What does Switzerland really have, come to think of it? Cuckoo clocks and snow. What do they have? Nothing. No oil, no gas, nothing. No minerals, nothing. Cuckoo clocks and snow. So how come Switzerland is so strong? Because they have a culture of mutual trust and respect. And that's what they're exporting, by the way. What is Switzerland strong in? Financial institutions, banks, and pharmaceuticals. Would you put your money in a bank you don't trust? Would you buy from a pharmaceutical company you don't respect? You know what they're exporting? Their culture. That's what they're capitalizing on. Thus, what is the biggest asset a company or a country or a person can have? It's not what you have, but what you are. What you have and what you do will change with time. It will come obsolete before you even blink your eyes. What you are is forever. The most important asset a country can have. Same thing with Japan. The strength of Japan used to be, still is, but is declining now, was a culture of internal mutual trust and respect. It was one big called corporate Japan. Collaboration, government, businesses, everything together. Tremendous loyalty, tremendous collaboration. That was their strength. There was no internal waste of energy. And look at countries like South Africa. With all that gold and platinum and diamonds and oil, where are they on their map? Same thing with Angola, which has the size of France, arable land, tremendous resources. Who ever heard of Angola as an economic force? Who is an economic force? Pay attention. A country with mutual trust and respect, with an internal culture of mutual trust and respect. That's the biggest asset. Because what will make you succeed? There must be a market. There must be a market. Well, now they start differently. There must be a technology. There must be money. No, I will have news for you. If there is a market, there is money. Money will come. Money is chasing opportunities to make money. And you will find technology to satisfy the market. You can buy the technology to satisfy the market. What do you need, however? Management to find the technology, to find the market, to find the money, to put it together profitably. And for that, you need energy. For this, organizations need energy. And if that energy is wasted internally, on internal politics, on rumors machine, on backstabbing, and on fighting, how much energy is left to go and serve the client and fight the competition? So instead of fighting the competition, what are we doing? Fighting each other. Let me summarize. No company should outpace its culture. Many companies start with mutual trust and respect, but as they are growing and changing, the mutual trust and respect gets consumed, gets used, gets lost. And as we lose mutual trust and respect, they're sacrificing the biggest asset they have or they should have for the future success. What is the role of management is to build a culture and nourish a culture of mutual trust and respect. That is your biggest asset, and unfortunately it doesn't appear on the balance sheet, but it should. Thank you very much.